Hello and welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things finance and real estate. In this video, I'm going to be providing an update on the recent stimulus package. I'll be discussing details of the legislation's key components so that you know what this means for you and your family. Alright, so Congress passed a $900 billion pandemic relief package on Monday night that will finally deliver much needed help, cash to businesses and individuals, as well as resources to combat our major surge in virus infections and deaths. In addition to the stimulus package that was passed, lawmakers tacked on a $1.4 trillion catch-all spending bill to fund the government through September of next year. Now, believe it or not, the relief package sped through the House and Senate in a matter of hours. So you see, JoeItAlls, they can actually get stuff done when they want to. So the Senate passed the stimulus bill in a 92-6 vote after the House approved the package with a 359-53 vote. So the bill allows a $300 per week supplemental unemployment benefit and $600 direct payments to most Americans, along with a new round of subsidies for hard-earned businesses, restaurants, and money for schools, healthcare providers, and renters facing eviction. So as far as the direct payments to us Americans, the legislation passed by Congress includes funds for $600 in direct payments for single Americans making $75,000 or less, $112,000 for head of household, and $150,000 for married couples filing jointly. Now, these payments will progressively phase out until it disappears for single Americans with an annual income of $99,000, while the ceiling will be $136,500 for heads of household and $198,000 for those filing jointly. Now, dependent children will qualify for a $600 payment as well. So just an example, a family of four could expect to receive a $2,400 payment. Now, the IRS, the Treasury Department, will go off of your most recent tax return, either 2018 or 2019, to determine your eligibility. Now, I have to say a positive development that did not happen last time is that payments will not be denied to citizens married to someone without a social security number. So you are eligible to receive a stimulus check if at least one person in your household has a social security number. Now, with this change, it will allow some spouses of undocumented immigrants to claim benefits this time around. Now, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, who was a key negotiator during the stimulus talks, said that the direct payment would begin arriving in bank accounts next week and that all of the payments are to be sent out by January 15. Secretary Mnuchin stated that those with direct deposit information already on file with the IRS will be first in line for the money, and that if you already have information on file and you know where this payment is going and you can keep the account open, that would be your best bet. So guys, it does appear that those of you with direct deposits should receive their payments the quickest. If you want to check the status of your payment, you can visit the IRS website and I'll include the link in the description. Again guys, so the good news is that it seems as if the payments will go a lot faster this time around versus taking months as some experienced through the last stimulus package. Alright, so now I want to go a bit more in depth on some of the details of the package. So I'm going to start with the unemployment benefits, as this impacts at least 12 million people who would have lost their benefits on December 26th. So the new stimulus bill provides $300 per week for 11 weeks. The benefits are now extended until March 14th of next year, which is providing a much needed lifeline to millions of people. So I'm glad that they got that done. Now, I do think this is a positive development, but it is half of the benefit that was provided in the CARES Act passed earlier this year. I do think benefits will need to be extended to give people a chance to get back on their feet. I mean, if we're realistic with this, guys, it's going to take some time for our economy to recover. It's not just going to get better overnight. The new stimulus legislation also extends pandemic unemployment assistance, which was a program set up to help a broad set of freelancers and independent contractors for the same 11-week period, providing an additional $100 per week. Now, in terms of aid to small businesses, the new legislation allows $285 billion for additional loans under the Paycheck Protection Program. Now, this new bill does have stricter terms in an attempt to correct some of the more unpopular elements of the original program, which did allow a significant share of money to flow to a tiny fraction of borrowers, including professional sports teams, high-income law firms, and national restaurant chains. So if you remember, JoeItAlls, a major issue with the last round of PPP money was that a ton of it went to large corporations. Now, when I heard about this, I was outraged. I'm like, are you serious? Meanwhile, the small business owners can't get any help. So it is good to know they're trying to make sure that this doesn't happen again this time around. get the money to the right people, get the money to those who really need it. Now, the new legislation caps PPP loans at $2 million and makes them available only to borrowers with fewer than 300 employees that experience at least a 25% drop in sales from a year earlier in at least one of the quarters. The agreement also sets aside $12 billion specifically for minority-owned business. So you see, they're trying to actually make sure that the money goes to the right place this time around. There's also $15 billion to support a broad category of entertainment-related businesses, including small theaters and live music venues that have been forced to be closed the majority of the year. Now, in terms of funding to fight the virus and get the pandemic under control, the legislation sets aside nearly $70 billion for a range of public health measures and includes $20 billion for the purchase of vaccines, $8 billion for vaccine distribution, and $20 billion to help states continue the test and contact tracing program. All right, JoeItAlls, so a very vital portion of the legislation has to do with rental protections and the eviction ban. So $25 billion is being allocated to help take pressure off states and local housing authorities. Additionally, the legislation will protect tenants struggling with rent by extending a moratorium on evictions another month. So this gets extended through January 31st. And the Department of Housing and Urban Development separately issued a similar moratorium on Monday that also protects homeowners against foreclosures on home mortgages, and this runs until February 28th. I must say that I am really happy to see that our politicians are providing much needed relief in the form of direct payments, aid to businesses and the unemployed, as well as taking steps to avoid a potential eviction or foreclosure crisis. Now, another positive element of the bill is additional funding to provide food security. So the new stimulus agreement increases monthly food stamp benefits, formerly known as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, increases funding to the program by 15% for 6 months beginning on January 1st. Now, overall, the legislation provides $13 billion for increased nutrition assistance, $400 million of which will support food banks and private food pantries. Now, I have to say, this is definitely needed. We have record numbers of Americans who've had to rely on food banks and have reported that they do not have enough resources to adequately feed their family. Now, I have to say, while all of these benefits are a step in the right direction, Democrats are promising more aid to come once Biden takes office next month, but Republicans are signaling a wait-and-see approach. So I have to say, guys, it should be interesting to see what happens with future stimulus negotiations once the new Biden administration takes over next month. All right, JoeItAlls, so there you guys have it, an update on the latest stimulus package and some of the key details of the legislation. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on the package. Do you think it's enough, or do you think more needs to be done? If you found value in the video, please be sure to hit that like button and share with others. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell as I'm posting valuable new content every week. Thanks for watching, and until next time.